Hi! Today on this segment of Intrigue Teaches, we're going to talk about a spiral bouquet. This is a great bouquet for bridal work because it gives you a nice big fluffy bouquet. Fluffy, doesn't have to be fluffy. It gives you a nice big bouquet, and it allows the stems, because of the spiral effect, to still be small enough to make it comfortable in the bride's hand. So we're going to start with one of my favorites. This is a peony, and right now it is pink peony season, so we have these nice big blooms, and I am always fascinated by this bloom, so it's going to be my favorite to start with. I always start with a lead flower, and then I'm going to cross my stems based on that lead flower. So my pink peony, my blush peony, is going to be my lead flower all the way through. I'll take the first stem, and I'm going to choose this great lavender rose here, and I'm just going to crisscross it over. Now, as I design this bouquet, the only stem that is going to be in the opposite direction is going to be my lead flower. Everything else is going to be going in the same direction, and I'm going to get my shape by rotating my wrist, not by moving the blooms themselves. So once we get our rose in there, I'm going to add another rose because I like to think and design in multiples. So 1 peony, 2 roses, 3 ranunculus. You get the point. So here we go, we're going to cross again. Again, I'm going to keep it nice and loose, and my hand is loose. I'm not grabbing the flowers. I have them very light in there, so if I need to pull and adjust, I can do that really easily. Let's go for another one. Now I've got some great roses in there. I want to add a little bit of texture. How about these ranunculus? This thing. Okay, ranunculus don't have a smell, but when you see flowers, you almost automatically want to smell them. These are gorgeous. This is cappuccino. These are from Schaefer Wholesale's Dutch line, and they are spectacular. Even late in the season, they look great. So I'm just going to pop that in. Again, I'm going in the same direction. Let's give myself another ranunculus. And when you're first starting, it doesn't look too exciting. You really have to get lots of blooms in your hand before you can see the bouquet come together. Also want to suggest that you don't worry too much about using every single flower in your count, because Mother Nature grows flowers bigger and smaller in different shapes and styles and sizes. So it is completely okay if you use less than you're accounting for, but you always want to make sure you account for enough that you have enough blooms in your hand. So we're going to add some of these great freesia. These also have a beautiful scent. This bouquet is going to be an absolute dream. So I'm adding my freesia in almost a color block. So I've got the fuchsias in here. Now I'm going to add some more of this fuchsia purple tone. This is scabiosa. These are wonderful. And these are nice and floppy. So I always want to make sure I'm going to keep the floppy ones more on the inside of the bouquet and not necessarily on the outside. That way I have my nice stiff flowers like my roses and my peony on the outside to hold the bouquet all together really nicely. Oh, and how about some of these? Check that out. Okay, I'm going to save him for the last because he's just perfect. And he's a boy, clearly. This one's going to be perfect. See how the head is nice and straight, where this one is angled? This I'm envisioning for the side of my bouquet. This one is perfect to go right inside. So again, I'm crisscrossing in that same direction. And you'll see some of the flowers kind of get pushed around, and we'll have to adjust them and tweak them a little bit. Let's add another one of these great big peony in here. Look, that's just starting to come together so nice. And we've got some nice roses here with a little bit of a softer tone. So this is a lavender rose, but it's not as deep of a lavender as the other one, and it really plays off nicely against that peony. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Oh, and then some more ranunculus. So many ranunculus. And if you see the shape that my stems are starting to take, you're going to start to see the spiral effect. And essentially, spiral bouquet is coming from that name. And as the flowers are kind of falling and moving, we're just going to pull them out. Add some more. Always cognizant of my colors and where my balance is coming in. Add a little bit this fuchsia pop over here, a few more roses, and you know, you hear people say all the time, listen to the flower, tell the flower what you want to do. And I used to hear that and I would laugh. I'm like, come on guys, my flowers aren't talking to me. But I gotta say, they do. The flowers tell you where they want to go. This flower here told me it didn't want to stand up straight in the middle. It wants to be on the edge. So flowers really do give you some direction just by looking at their shape and their style. Another peony, I just can't get over these, so beautiful. Again, you see I'm just adding crisscross all the same direction. And again, my hand is super, super light in there. Let's get some more of these. So I'm making a bridal bouquet, so it's going to be a little bit on the larger side. All right, right here you can see that this scabiosa has gone way deep, so I'm just going to reach in. Because I'm holding it so loose, I can pull him out without any challenges whatsoever. Add a little bit more scabiosa for texture. And when you're putting them in deep, you can allow the scabiosa to bounce and play off that stem really nicely. I don't even know, I don't have words for this peony. It's so perfect. I just want to take it home. How's that look? Alright, so once I get to a shape that I feel comfortable with, I'm going to go ahead and tape it. See, I have a favorite tape, which is what I'm looking for. When you can't find your favorite tape, you can always use our green Davy tape, which is also an Oasis product. And just pull a section off. And see how I'm holding it super light still. All my stems are crisscrossed. I want to make sure when I'm taping it that I don't strangle the bouquet. I still want to tape it lightly. That way I can pull and adjust and make that bouquet the right size and style that I want. So I'm going to take the tape and wrap it around. Again, super, super soft and light on this touch. And I try to go around usually 2 or 3 times just to give it that security. There you go. And I'm going to give the stems a little bit of a trim. And the only reason I'm giving it a trim right now is just because it's hitting me. Now is not the most important time to have the trim. Alright, so we've got our spiral, it's loose, it's taped. And now I'm going to adjust my blossoms. I'm going to adjust the blossoms till I feel completely comfortable. And, oops, there goes that guy, he's going to be at the end. So I'm looking right here. Right here I have a rose in really deep. I have a ranunculus in really deep, and I want those out a little bit more. So I'm just going to push and pull. This one needs to come down a little bit. This one needs to come in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm in heaven with this. Oh my God, can you smell it? Absolutely in heaven. And I'm going to do another piece of tape, this one a little bit more firm, so that the bouquet doesn't wobble and doesn't move and fall out of place. So nice and tight all the way around. Again, I don't want to strangle it, but I do want it tight. Then we're going to give it another chop. For this chop, I'm just going to pull the stems in, and you're not going to break them. They're totally fine. Because you've done that spiral, they're naturally going to pull in, and I'm going to chop them straight across. And then I'm going to show you the trick to know if you have done your spiral accurately. All these stems here. As you can see, we didn't use everything, and I don't feel bad about it. Go in and you're going to want to trim the center pieces completely down, not completely down, usually about a few centimeters down. What this is going to do is it's going to give you some empty space in the middle and allow the bouquet to actually stand on these outer stems. learned this technique years into my career from a French designer, and forgive me, I can't remember her name to save my life, but I think of her every day and appreciate that she taught me this skill because it makes my bouquets so much easier to handle. So you can see right there, these stems themselves, there's lots of blooms, but to hold this is very easy. Once you get it completely cut the way it needs to, it's gonna stand right on its own and just be beautiful. But we're not done. So let's finish this off by adding a bit of ribbon. This is also gonna save you a little bit on ribbon because you only have that one area to cover. We're just gonna do one wrap of ribbon around. And I like to go over multiple times so that I don't have that crunchy kind of stem look underneath. I like it to be soft. So going around multiple circles on that same line softens the look of the ribbon a little bit. There we go. And we take our pin. I like to use these nice little short pixie pins. Pop them in. And there we go. That is your finished bridal bouquet.